Welcome to the Monday Warrior podcast. So we all dread Mondays. It's the end of the weekend, the start of a new work week, and essentially the rebirth of the 5-day minimum grind cycle. We've all heard of the term weekend warrior, where we suffer for the week to live it up for the weekends. But what if we didn't have to suffer for the week just to enjoy those 2 days off? What if we could actually enjoy more than 2 of the 7 days of the week? What if we could not only take back Monday, but also Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? The Monday Warrior podcast aims to challenge your opinions and attitude on the workweek cycle, to look at the new week with opportunity for improvement rather than inevitable dread, and to provide you with the necessary motivation to harden your mentality and to 180 your perspective on your current circumstances. Because at the end of the day, it's your life, and no matter how you frame it, you technically don't have to do anything. You get to. What's up, guys? So episode 9 of the Monday Warrior podcast. This episode's about stop chasing perfection and to start aiming for sustainability. And it's important to understand that whatever your goals may be, you'll never be perfect at what you're doing. Because just like how we're constantly evolving as people in our crafts, we're constantly learning more information, we're getting better, we're getting smarter, our crafts are also evolving too. And there's always going to be a new skill to learn, a new hill to climb, a new strategy to master, and new information to essentially absorb. You know, if you're a teacher and you're a physical education teacher, there's always new information coming out about the human body that you need to learn. If you're an athlete, there's a better way to play the game. If you're an artist, there's always a better way to draw. There's a better way to approach the craft. Your creativity is always evolving, just like how the art itself is evolving. And so by chasing sustainability, we essentially allow ourselves the privilege of longevity in our craft. And the difference between sustainability and chasing perfection, it's a mindset difference, right? So perfection is something that essentially can never be obtained. And honestly, by definition, perfection is without flaw, and that contradicts the entire human experience because we're meant to have flaws. We're meant to have flaws that we're supposed to overcome to get better. And chasing perfection will constantly leave nothing but feelings of dissatisfaction in the long run. So let me get into here. It'll lead to feelings of, I'm not good enough, I'm not where I want to be, I'll never get there, because it's just such a lofty goal that's actually impossible to reach. And the chase of perfection, the pursuit of perfection, it leads us to forget our blessings and our progress and our lack of appreciation for the actual journey ahead and for the journey that's currently happening right now. Because we're so focused and we're so tied up on such a lofty, impossible goal, we forget about all the progress we've made from point 0 up to point A. Because we're just looking at point Z and we're never going to get there. Because even though we'll improve, we'll always see something that needs to be better, and we'll never feel the satisfaction that we actually deserve and the happiness that we deserve from playing our craft, because we're always focused on the road ahead and we're never really looking at how far we've come already. So on the other side of the coin, chasing and aiming for sustainability allows for a calmer, a more collective mindset that'll actually allow you to study your craft deeper. So instead of striving for perfection of no mistakes, no problems, you're striving for an overall balance of flaws and progress, of something that's actually realistic. And when I say realistic, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying sustainability is a bitch mindset of taking it easy, of stepping off the gas, of not being hungry enough. Flaws and roadblocks are something that are inevitable in any journey of working on any craft, of preparing for a bodybuilding competition, of training for maybe something as lofty as the NFL, or it may be just trying to create the best art piece that you have. Flaws and roadblocks, they're going to happen. You're probably going to erase at some point in that drawing. And the sustainability mindset allows you to understand that this is possible. It allows you to understand, to dive deeper into how can I reconcile this flaw and be okay with it, and understand that it's part of the journey, as it's part of something that's supposed to happen, versus when you're chasing perfection, oh, this isn't good enough, start over. Oh, this isn't good enough, start over. And you never end up getting anywhere because you're so tied up with being perfect and having no mistakes. Chasing sustainability allows you to strive for longevity, and it allows you to understand that, your dedication isn't meant solely for chasing a goal, but rather for living in the moment, rather for that personal enjoyment of the present moment and of the game itself, of just enjoying basketball just as basketball, of enjoying playing guitar just as playing guitar. And this feeling of enjoyment is often lost when we're constantly goal chasing, constantly going, and we forget that this is something that's supposed to be fun at the end of the day. It's something that's supposed to bring us happiness. It doesn't mean that you can't set goals, but it means to take a step back. That's the sustainability mindset right there. And this is what it means to truly understand your role and your endeavors, and to truly understand your own limitations as well. Because at the end of the day, don't mistake sustainability for weakness, because anyone can go full throttle and anyone can chase perfection, but only a very few select number of people know how to tone their efforts down for sustainability in the long run. It's almost just avoiding burning out. And burning out is something that no one wants to deal with. And there's no faster way to burn out than to go full throttle, to chase perfection, to chase the unattainable without a plan, without caution to some degree. It's not weakness, it's realism. Because when we burn out, guess what? Our self-efficacy, our self-esteem, and our abilities to succeed and to conquer, it dips, and it dips drastically. And we come back to that same endeavor because we want to go after it again, because we're chasing perfection and we want to be the best. So we come back to that endeavor with a little less energy than we had last time. And the cycle constantly repeats itself because perfection is impossible. And you'll never achieve it. And when you don't achieve it, you'll feel these feelings of failure. And your self-efficacy drops, and you come back with a little less heart, with a little less fire than last time. And it creates this endless cycle that completely destroys the endeavor. It takes the enjoyment out of the sport, out of the hunt, out of the workplace endeavor, whatever the case may be. So what may seem like a fiery effort from the start, that spark of motivation at first when you first try going at something without a plan, it's actually, it's a mirage of aiming too high from the get-go. That sustainability mindset allows you to analyze your goals realistically and allows you to plan ahead for the long run. So take your endeavors in stride. Please take them in stride. Strive to be better. Strive for improvement, but also understand that longevity in the sport, in the workplace, in the game, that's what wins the race of true self-fulfillment in the long run, and that's what keeps you happy with what you're doing in the long run. So the quote of this week's episode is actually a personal quote, and it's that if you bet on yourself, you'll always see it through. And that's just something that I always say to myself. It's a story of introspection. It's a quote that tells this story of proceeding with a plan, of understanding your strengths and weaknesses, and knowing that the road ahead of whatever endeavor you're going at will require a lot out of you. A lot than you probably initially anticipated. But it's a quote that also teaches you how to rely on yourself. And it builds self-efficacy and confidence in your own abilities and experiences to carry you to the end. Because the thing is, if you bet on yourself, you'll continuously push yourself to become better and better in discipline, better in strategy, and emotional control and goal setting all around. Because you recognize the self-control that you have, and you recognize your own personal willpower and your abilities to succeed. The chips are with you, on you. And it's something that you can actually control. You're not hoping for someone else to perform. You're not hoping for a magical card. You're not hoping for a lucky 7. You're hoping that you'll be able to see the endeavor through. You're hoping that you'll have the confidence to do it when everything is on the line. And guess what? When everything is on the line and you're betting on yourself, when you have the control over yourself and over your skill set, and your willpower to see it through, I can guarantee you're going to be a lot stronger than you think, and you're going to push harder than you've ever pushed in your entire life before, because you're betting on yourself, man. And you're putting everything into your own heart and soul to succeed. And as a closed circuit, that's going to fuel your drive and ambition to see it through. Because you're in charge of your own fate. You're betting on yourself. You want to win? Go win. You want to lose? Okay, too. You're betting on yourself and you're in control. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Monday Warrior. Thank you for your time and support, and be sure to keep an eye out for next week's episode that will be available for listening on Sunday night. The clock is ticking. Start and continue chasing the life that you want to live this week, the week after, and so forth. Stay driven, never settle, and never give up. Never forget that the shackles of restriction and limitation start and end in our minds. We are free the moment we and we alone tell ourselves so. Now go out there and tear this week to shreds.